Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome. Peace be with you. I'm Huda Alkaff, founder and director of Wisconsin Green Muslims. Thank you, everyone, for joining us in this Wisconsin Faith and Solar webinar. So we're glad to have our presenter here, Stephen Coleman.
All right. I'd like to thank everyone also for being here, for their interest in solar. My name is Steve Coleman. St. Denis is a Catholic church in Madison, Wisconsin. And we have a 2-volume solar activity. However, I want to start with kind of the end point. The Care of Creation team set out to reduce St. Denis's carbon footprint. I'm going to jump right to the answer. In 2014, we emitted 450 tons of carbon a year. This year, without the COVID effect, we anticipate we would release 275 tons per year. It's a 75% reduction. So we're really excited that we can reduce our carbon emissions by that much. And as I tell the story here, we'll let that unfold as to how we've done that. The next view is going to be an aerial view of campus. We have two phases of solar collectors. Phase 1 in the top is on some garage roofs, and it's a slope roof, so they're roof mounted. Phase 2 is on the school, and they are flat roof mounted. Our utility is Madison Gas and Electric. We have 2 meters. That's why we could put in 2 arrays. We are doing net metering. With the MG&E world, we are allowed to do yearly tune-up, true-up, so that if we overproduce in a given month, we can carry that on to the next month, which is great. The electric cost is about 13 cents per kilowatt hour. On the total utilization of St. Denis is about 300 megawatt hours per year, 200 in the school and 100 in the church. Okay, phase 1. This was completed in July of 2017. There are 66 collectors that are roof mounted. They are 330 watts per collector, so the total DC power is 22 kilowatts. We had an anticipation of producing 25,000 kilowatt hours per year. The cost of the system was $57,000, and after the rebates that we got and grants that we got, it was a net cost of $47,000. If you look at the amortization of that over 25 years and look at all of the energy that's produced, we're buying our energy at 6.5 cents per kilowatt hour. So that's a really good deal. The difficulty is you have to buy it all up front. But there will be no price increases on that. It's fixed. Our tool for monitoring solar production is a thing called an e-gauge. And this is 1 day's production. And there are two two graphs simultaneously presented here. The green represents the solar production, and the red is the utilization of the school building. And this was the school was not in session, but there were still some activities in the building. You can see that we produced about 1/3 of the power that we needed. And the next slide is, if you can kind of get that understanding, the next slide will take you to a full year. There we go. So the graph that I saw a minute ago is in the lower left-hand corner. The graph that's in the center is a full year of production. And you can see that the variation on our utilization is we use more energy during the day and we produce more solar energy during the day. The design was for 25,000 kilowatt hours. The first year we produced 24.8. So we figured that's a lucky, I guess, engineering, we did it right. The power produced is about 17% of the school's power is on solar. Phase 2, which was initiated 2 years later, was completed of September last fall. It's on a flat roof. There are 72 collectors on the flat roof, each of them producing 335 watts of DC power. So it's about 10% bigger than the previous system that you saw. It's expected to produce 28,000 kilowatt hours of electricity per year. The total $3,000. We were able to get $20,000 worth of grants. So the net to the parish was $33,000. And that resulted in an anticipated 25-year power cost of 4.3 cents. So this is from an economic standpoint, this is a really easy project to sell and to justify. This is again the E-gauge readout. The single day production, and one of the things that we found that would be very helpful with this readout system is it gives us a chance to understand the power utilization within the church. You can see on the right-hand side, it's the nighttime power for the outside lights. Morning comes along and that's reduced. And then some activities in the church for a few hours in the morning. And then in the afternoon, you've got spikes, and those are that's the air conditioning cycling on and off. This was a pretty good day. We produced as much power in this 24-hour day period as we used. So we bought 17 cents of electricity from MG&E. That was a happy day. It doesn't always look that way. The design was for 28,000 kilowatt hours a year. Our estimate for this first year is it's going to be about 10% short of that. And one of the major reasons is because we had a very sticky snow on the collectors for about 6 weeks in January and February. So we lost a lot of production time, about 10% of our year. But snow happens in Wisconsin. Okay, I put together a few thoughts about what you would think about as you are going to get started to do this kind of installation in your faith community. The first question is, do you have a south-facing unshaded roof? The second is the roof in reasonably good condition? third is to understand what the relationship with your power company is going to be. Most utilities make it easier for you to install a 20 kilowatt AC system or below for the interconnection. If it gets larger than 20 kilowatt hours of AC, there's more interaction and difficulty with insurance regulations and hoops to jump through to allow you to do that. They're not prohibitive. They were pretty prohibitive for us in the Catholic Church because of the insurance requirements. We had a diocesan-wide insurance policy, and it would have been very difficult to modify that. Just kind of a rule of thumb, this is certainly not a quotable, but a 20 kilowatt hour AC system will cost you about $50,000 today. The prices of the systems continue to go down. But as you think about it for your congregation, that would be a number you could at least start with before you get any contractors in or anything. So that's going to be within plus or minus $10,000. The system should last 25 to 30 years. So the activity that you do now is going to be really a legacy of value for your congregation into the future. And the final thing is that there is financial help available. Solar for Good and Focus on Energy were two people that we used. They are still active. However, the programs change year to year. So you will have to do initial work with that to understand where it is today. The other thing I was thinking of, I don't have it on the slide, but you would really be well if, as you formed a team to look at this, you had three skill sets. One would be some engineering skill sets to understand the information that's being given. The second would be a financial acumen that will help you take the data and arrange it such that the financial committee of your church can understand what's going on. And then the third skill set that would be very valuable is somebody that's good on communication and or fundraising. So those three sets of information will be really helpful to you as you think about putting solar on your facility. One final thing is, it's a pretty tried and true thing to do now. There's, as you can see from the witnesses that are on the brochure that Huda put together, there's a lot of churches in Wisconsin that are doing this. And the final thing that I want to offer you, oh no, this is the highlight. This is a highlight slide. This is the dedication of our phase 2 solar. And an upstairs conference room we have actually looks out onto the roof of the school. And the windows there, you can see on the left, the windows, you can see the solar collectors. We had about 60 people come to the dedication, and we invited people from the other local churches. So we had 10 other congregations that came to this. And the celebrant right in the center is our new bishop, Bishop Hying. We were fortunate enough to have him come and offer a blessing and some words of encouragement to everybody that was there. That was a very exciting time. We had a really nice time together. The final thing that I offer is I put together a booklet several years ago on the moral call to care for our common home. It is done from a Catholic perspective. However, the moral call is really seen in both any religion that I have had the privilege of talking with it fits in. It will be useful to you to start with the moral call of your faith community. The book then goes into the science of what's going on, what the solution would be, and finally a call to action. That's available in English through a bit.ly link that you see there, and it's also available in Spanish. Okay, I think that's it.
Thank you very much, Steve. That was great.